Welcome back to the channel. I've spent my entire week with this 2025 Genesis GV80 Coupe. Now the Coupe is very much the more sporty version of the new Genesis GV80 lineup. I really like it. I think this is the one I prefer over the 3-row. So today I'm going to show you the exterior, then the interior, and of course a POV drive. Let's get right into it. So up first, we're going to take a look at the front. You can see we've got very nice daytime running LEDs. I really like this big red paint color. It just looks really cool. The vehicle actually has quite a big stance, quite a big presence for something that is or wants to be considered a coupe in my opinion, but I really like it. We've got a front-facing camera, parking sensors all over the place, really good. We've also got the sensor for the automatic steering and stuff like that, so that's all here up front. Nice grille here. I do like it for 2025. I don't really have any complaints. Nice and big. I enjoy that. You can see we've got some cooling in here. This is also where you're going to house our 48-volt electric supercharger, which I'll give you more details on in just a moment. And if I drop it a little bit, you can see how much ground clearance we have. You can also see how big the tires are. I really like it. It just looks classy, but also sporty at the same time that this Genesis front end does. So I really like it. So under the hood for the Genesis GV80 Coupe, we have the 3.5 liter twin turbo V6 engine with that 48-volt electric supercharger, which is really cool. So the electric supercharger, from my understanding, is that it is not really going to give you much efficiency. It's just going to absolutely give you all the power that you could need. And I think it's really cool. This thing does have quite a bit of power for what it is. We've got 409 horsepower, 405 pound-feet of torque. We're also got an 8-speed automatic transmission, and it's also got 8 shift-by-wire system. We've also got the electronically controlled suspension with road preview, and we've also got a limited slip differential. Now the price for this guy is going to be expensive. I'm looking at over $105,000 Canadian. So next we're going to move over to the side profile for the GV80 Coupe. You can see it's kind of got the same stance as something like the BMW X6 would have, which we did drive on the channel a couple of months ago, or last year anyways. So that looks I still like this design though. I actually tend to prefer the design of the Genesis over that BMW. But you can take a closer look at the rims here. Very nice and huge tires. We like that. We've got the Genesis logo on the brakes. This is also a turn signal, which I like. Nice camera right here underneath the mirrors. We've got a sensor for our locking and unlocking on all 4 doors, which is going to be very nice. Easy entry, right? Again, for a coupe, if I back up, for a coupe, we've got a big presence vehicle right here. And I like it. I'm actually a fan of the chrome as well. I don't mind that. I think it really stands out well, but you could black those out and really give it an aggressive look if you wanted to, but I'm a fan. I like it. So next we move on to the back. The taillights don't actually look like this in real life. It's just the camera refresh rate can't keep up with the lighting on the actual vehicle, but no problem. We've got quad exhaust. They are real. They are not fake, which is good. I really like that. We've got the GV80 badge right there, the all-wheel drive badge right there, which the 3.5 badge as well, telling you you've got the big V6 in there. Kind of like a rear spoiler, an interesting situation there. I like it though. No rear wiper, which should be okay because it's enough of an angle that I think snow would fall off, although it would have been nice to see one just in case, but I think you're going to be fine without it. I love the taillights, how they wrap around the body. That's kind of a classic Genesis design here over the years, so really cool. Genesis logo written right there. You can't get any clearer than that. Trunk button is actually going to be right here. Of course, in this price point, tailgate is automatic. So opens up. It's windy, so it's spitting water at me here, but really massive cargo space. This is something that really surprised me. I wasn't expecting to have this much space, again, because they call this a coupe, but it feels like they took out the 3rd row and gave you a ton of trunk space. Also, if you want to fold down your 2nd row seats, you have it all powered right here. And I love this privacy screen. Folds down and then also folds back up. Very easy. You also do have a little bit of storage here under the carpet and under the trunk, which I'll show you. Not very much, but still a decent amount. Hides the tire kit. Doesn't come with a spare tire. We've got a tire kit here, but I like it. Fold the seats down. You're gonna have a ton of room. Let's hop in the inside. All right, first up, as usual, is going to be the rear for the Genesis GV80 Coupe. Very nice door. Very nice material on the door. Really cool. Nice material on the seats as well, but I'm going to hop in because it's currently raining, so we'll talk about all of that on the inside here. So door closed now. Very nice door closing sound. Very solid sound as well. Got this nice trim right here. I like the orange stitching as well. Got the Bang & Olufsen sound system back here. We got a speaker. We do have some privacy blinds. So that's also very nice. I love the headlining in here. It's all kind of Alcantara trim. Nothing feels cheap here at all. I've got my own climate control back here, heated and ventilated seats back here as well. These seats, you can see I've got my baby car seat installed, works perfectly. They are all power operated. They can recline, they can go back and forth, no problem, all by power. So that's very nice. We've also got this guy right here that's going to fold down as well. And you've got a little bit more storage in here. Again, all nice materials. Take a look at these seats. They're super cool with the pattern. And we've also, again, I love the orange stitching. Also got the orange seat belts as well. You'll be able to see things a little bit better when I hop up front. We do have some nice ambient lighting down there as well. Looks really cool. You can also control the passenger seat here from the back. So for instance, you know, if I had my baby here, the car seat's taking too much room, I can easily just reach up there and do it. Or if you don't have a child and you just have a normal person in here or a full-grown person in here, then you could just push the seat up if there is nobody right there in the passenger seat. So very, very nice. I've also got a AC 150 volt, and we've also got the USB-C chargers right back here as well. Plenty of foot room, plenty of leg room. Everything is good. Seats are extremely comfortable. For this being a coupe vehicle, I have surprisingly a really good amount of room back here, and I'm pretty happy with it. So yeah, let's hop in the business end. Let's check out up front. All right, next up is the business end for the GV80 Coupe. Nice and big door, nice Genesis logo right there on the bottom. We have all of our power options right here, as well as the massage function. Take a look at the seats once again. Very, very cool. Really comfortable. You can adjust the bolstering. You can adjust pretty much everything about the seat here. But again, it is raining, so let us hop in here. Close the door. It's actually a soft closing door here up front. So it kind of just takes care of that itself. You never have to slam the doors of your Genesis, so that's very nice. I've got 2 levels of memory seats right here. The speaker right here for our surround sound system. All of the windows are going to be automatic. Nice and premium feeling switches here as well. Left-hand side, we've got our hill descent climb button, our traction control, and our illumination, as well as our tailgate button, which is automatic. Next, we have a nice new looking steering wheel. Now, I didn't mind the old one. The old ones that I've seen were like the Genesis GV70 electrified. That's the one that we drove twice last year and this year as well. So they've completely redesigned the steering wheel. Nice D-cut, again with the orange trim around. Nice Genesis logo right there in the middle. We've got all physical buttons besides this guy that's kind of a bit of both, which is really cool. You can kind of switch tracks and also control our digital gauge cluster from there. But left-hand side is mostly media controls. Right-hand side is going to be our cruise control buttons. And you have your lane centering button right here. You'll notice this little guy, a little camera that's going to watch your eyes, because this thing, like I said, has a really pretty advanced cruise control setting on it. So because it can kind of turn for you a little bit, like if the highway kind of turns, you can use this button and it will kind of take control. It's going to watch you as well as make sure your hands are on the steering wheel. 2 paddle shifters, very nice feeling. They are plastic, but still really not rowing through gears necessarily in the GV80 Coupe, so that's not a big deal. All digital gauge cluster, very nice to look at. You can see we have a couple of different options here that you can go through to look at it. I usually just leave it on the map. This, of course, changes with our drive mode. You kind of get a little bit of a different theme. You can see that's sport mode, sport plus mode, which does turn our traction control off. And then we have the my mode, which you can set up. But usually I'm driving in comfort, but eco mode also looks like that. It kind of changes it just a little bit. And you can see it's all one screen. There is no screen separation right here at all. So I can pop over here into the fully massive infotainment display. You got a ton of options. You can see we've got, you know, built-in navigation. We've got a mood curator. We've got valet mode. Literally everything's on here. Of course, wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto is on here as well. I like this though, 3D setup. So you go in there, the color of the car is going to be accurate. It's going to roll up. So you can kind of control things on the vehicle. You can rotate it. Very nice and high quality render. Then if you want to change some settings on the inside, it'll kind of show you. And it's kind of quick access from there. You can kind of see like a 3D view of what you want to control. I think that's a really nice touch, because this is a little complicated, but if you use this mode, it kind of makes things a little bit easier. Once you sit down with it, honestly, it's not that bad. So let me take you through the mood curator, because there's something new. I think there's something really cool. So we can go like comfort, you know, it says provides relaxing atmosphere with relaxing music, lighting, and a massage. And then we also have this fragrance button as well. That I don't have available. I'm not able to test it because it didn't come with the vehicle. There's no cartridges, nothing on my tester here this week. But basically, what it does is it changes the scent that goes throughout the vehicle. You can have the intensity of that scent high, low, or medium, and you can also change it depending on, what you want to smell in the car. So that is a very cool luxurious feature. Unfortunately, I don't get to try it, but it is a thing. And if you do buy the Genesis, then you will obviously get probably full use of that. I just don't have it, but I can start the comfort thing here. You'll see exactly what it does. So there you go, quick little thing of that. Very cool. It's actually giving me a massage while that's happening, so that's it's quite nice. You can also choose what you want on, whatever you want to do. If you're just waiting, sitting in the car, whatever you may need to do. You can also set up voice memo, stuff like that. It's all kind of built in for stuff like this. And then we also have really nice trim here. I love the feel of this trim right underneath the screen. It's nice and smooth. I love the dash as well. Very nice. You can see the colors kind of come through here. Ambient lighting is decent. Not as bright as, say, something like the GV70 electrified was. This has a little bit less, but still very nice. We've got a second screen here for everything HVAC related. A lot of like haptic touch buttons up here, which I don't mind. I do still prefer my physical buttons, but I like the little kind of extra screen here we get inside. You can control the rear, the heated seats in the rear as well. We can have our ventilated seats here as well. And this is your fragrance button. You can just kind of hit it on demand if it's installed. And if you have a cartridge that's not empty, then you can click that button. So it's going to be useful as well. I also like this. The look of the trim here is really clean. 2 USB-C chargers, as well as a wireless charger. This guy right here is going to allow us to control our infotainment display without actually having to touch it, because when you are sitting back in the driver's seat, it is a little far, but this is right near where we need to touch. Fingerprint scanner so that you can start your Genesis no problem. Then we also have some physical buttons for some quick menu stuff. The gear selector, which is pretty standard, nothing crazy. We've seen it on a couple of different Genesis so far. Nice lit up cup holders. We've got our drive mode button as well as a terrain mode button. For terrain, we've got the snow, we've got the mud, and we've got the sand. Very simple stuff, but good to have. Then we have a little bit of storage right here. When you have your heated seat on, either the passenger or the driver, this part right here is actually heated as well. So we've got a little heated armrest here, which is very nice. Pop this guy open. Got a little bit of storage there, but you can always take out this little compartment here, and then you have a deep pocket of storage. This would have been better, I think, as a slider, because now I actually want to use that storage there, but I keep having to take this out to do it. It's a little thing, but would have been nice to just have a slider. We also have a digital rear view mirror, which is very nice to have. You can see, turn it off, turn it back on. Nice little sunroof right there. It's missing kind of like maybe a panoramic sunroof would be nice, but you know what? For what it is, I think this is good enough. Again, love the feel of this headlining. Very nice touch. Everything in here is high quality. Everything in here screams luxury. But this luxury also comes with a little bit of performance, which to me is the best of both worlds. You got your space, you got your luxury, and you've got your performance. So far, it's hitting all the boxes. It's a very, very fully loaded vehicle, and I am I've just been enjoying it. But let me know what you think so far, and I will go pick up that GoPro, strap it on my forehead, and I'll take you for a test drive. Let's do it. All right, on the road now. Got the GoPro on my forehead for the Genesis GV80 Coupe. And look, like, this thing really hasn't felt like a coupe. So I want to know, do you guys think that they should have named it something else other than the coupe? Like maybe just labeled it as an SUV and not just put the word coupe in there to sound more sporty? Because I have so much room in the back. I've got so much room in the trunk. I've got enough room up front. I still feel like this is quite a big vehicle. So it's like, for me, it's like, well, I don't know. I think if you want to make it sound more sporty, absolutely put it in the name. If you want to just make it sound like an SUV, don't really need it. Look at this, though. I've got turn signal. I'm going to turn my turn signal on. I don't know how well the GoPro's picking it up. This seems kind of like washed out, and I don't know why. But look at that. It's kind of picking up the camera on the side. So whenever I put my turn signal on, I can see through the camera. I'm going to turn my digital rear view mirror on right now. Very nice as well. So yeah. Let's start with visibility. Really, really good. Really, really big windshield. I feel like it comes up quite high. And we've also kind of got this shade here for the sun when it does get to that point. I'm not really blinded by anything. Good visibility out the side. Big mirrors, which is important. Nice Audi R8. Yes, sir. Yeah, so really, really good and easy to see, especially with the digital rear view mirror at nighttime, stuff like that. It's very easy to understand what's going on. So let's put her into Sport Mode Plus. This has a Sport Plus mode, so that's going to be really interesting. And let's give it a little bit of beams here. Oh yeah, oh yeah. So there's basically no lag when you put your foot down because of that electric supercharger. You can kind of feel it, except you can't hear any kind of supercharger noises because it doesn't do any of that because it's electric, but you definitely get that kind of instant torque that you would expect from like an EV, and then the engine is able to kick in and just the shift by wire is really solid there, and you can just boom. Let's do it again. Yeah, that's very good. That's very good. Look, this is a big SUV. By all purposes, this is a very large vehicle to get up and move like that. So like, of course, it's not gonna like pound you back in your seat, but it's got just enough horsepower that it's gonna do it. I think there is some pumped in audio. I think you could hear it. I don't think it's making that much noise out the back with the exhaust. I don't think it's like that well tuned, but I don't know. I don't mind it. You can turn it off. I don't mind it though, because I think it, it gives the vehicle a little bit more personality. Not that this thing needs any more. It has quite a bit as it is, but still, it's really nice as well. And check this out. So like, say, now we're done having our fun. I can still keep it in Sport Plus mode, but I can press my kind of lane centering. You'll see this guy flashing. Like I said in the beginning, that is a sensor that's actually going to watch my eyes. Hopefully the camera's not interrupting that. So like, you are normally supposed to have your hand on the wheel at all times, but I feel like it asks me to do that a lot less because of the camera, because it's able to see whether or not I'm looking at the road and watching what's going on. See, on curves, it makes me nervous still, but that is really solid. Look at that. Look how much of a curve. Now it wants my hands on the steering wheel, because I think it's not confident enough. But as soon as I get to go straight again, like we are right now, look at this. I can basically take my hands off and I don't think it will yell at me. I'm pretty sure you're always supposed to keep your hands on the wheel. I will say that because I don't think it's marketed as anything else than that. I think you're always supposed to keep a light hand on the wheel, but you can sort of, it seems like I can sort of get away with not doing it, especially when the car is just heading in a straight direction. Now I'm controlling the throttle and stuff like that, but you don't have to do that. You can put your cruise control on, it'll stop, go, do all the stuff for you, and then stay in the lane for you as well. It kind of drives by itself. It's not a fully automated system or anything like that. You still got to watch it, but it's a very nice thing to kind of give yourself a break. I'm just kind of trying to show you the lane centering. So look, it's really not asking me. So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, you're supposed to kind of always keep your hands near it or around it somewhere. Like usually I'll do one of these, where it's like I kind of got a hand on it on my knee right there. So that way we're good. But yeah, I really like systems like these. Hyundai, Kia, Genesis as well now, they all have these like unbelievable lane centering assists. Like it is just ridiculous. See, now I'm going to put my hands closed. It won't yell at me, but it'll take this turn without me really doing anything. And like I pretty much have confidence in it. It is a little like, it jerks a little bit mid-corner, but look at that, no problem. And my foot was on the gas the entire time. I didn't take it off at all. So there you go, really cool. So obviously I'm in Sport Plus mode, right? And that's the most aggressive mode, but this thing, like the ride quality on it is just so top notch that I don't think it matters whether you're in Comfort, Eco, Sport, Sport Plus, or Sport. You're just gonna have a nice ride quality all the way around. And then another rip. Oh yeah, that's too good. I can see a bunch of smoke that I left out the back. Very cool. Not from the tires, from the exhaust. It's a very smoky exhaust, especially in the cold here. +8 here in Canada. Getting colder. Definitely don't feel it in this thing though. Check this out. Like I can kind of put my hand on the controls and you can see that it switches. Hopefully the camera, you can see that. I don't know if you can. I'll try to include a B-roll if it's not showing properly. I think this screen is a little bit washed, like I said, but I can see exactly what I'm touching. So if I want to adjust stuff on the fly, I can do it, no problem. And I know where my hand is and where my hand needs to go based on that picture. Very good. I can also get a massage while I'm driving down the road, stuff like that. It's just Genesis things, It's like, I don't know, people, you could call this a Hyundai if that's what makes you feel better, if that's what helps you sleep at night, but I don't know, I feel like Genesis have now done enough to completely separate themselves from the brand. I mean, sure, they do share some similarities in terms of software and maybe button placement, but in terms of like the materials that they use and stuff like that, you're just not going to find that on even a calligraphy Hyundai. You're not going to find this kind of drive, this kind of ride quality on any high quality Hyundai. You just need a different company to take care of that. And that's all Genesis does. They just focus on quality. And And this time I think they've nailed it because we've also got a sporty aspect to it as well. So I think that's really, really cool. Like, this thing has enough space for pretty much anything that I would need. It's got really, really sporty features. You know, the V6, the twin turbo V6, over 400 horsepower, 409 horsepower, 405 pound-feet of torque, and the electric supercharger, which means it's not really giving us any efficiency. It's more or less going to give us, you know, power, which is really cool. And something I honestly haven't experienced before, and I think it's cool. And I think we'll see it on a lot more vehicles as well. So you can see my average consumption since refueling is 14.6 liters per 100 kilometers, which, you know what, isn't great, all right? Like, that's a little high. I think Genesis originally quoted at like 12.9 combined. I do a lot more city than highway. So this does have a little bit of highway in it, but really not that much. It's gonna be more city. So yeah, 14.6 liters is, you know, it's definitely, like I said, that mild hybrid system is not there to provide, I don't think, much efficiency at all. Maybe when you're in eco mode, it kind of switches. I don't know if it can, but I just think, you know, it's more for power and performance, which I'm all here for. I really like that. I think it's really cool. Now, handling is pretty good too. Like, when you have corners and stuff, you do have to kind of wait for the vehicle to turn. It is a heavy vehicle. There is quite a bit of body roll. I mean, if you look at the size of this thing, if you see this thing in person, you're gonna understand that, like, they could only make it so, like, sporty to an extent, right? Like, because when you got like big turns and stuff, you got to have big brakes and stuff like that, but you still have to wait for the body to kind of come. You kind of got to wait for that weight to transfer a little bit. And that's the only thing, but I don't really think you're driving this on the track. I don't think you're buying this to do that. I think you just want something that's sporty, spacious, extremely luxurious, that looks, and that also looks really nice and has, you know, all the performance you could ever want. I think that's the main goal here. So overall, I really, really like the all-new GV80 Coupe design. A really good job by Genesis. I just don't know that I could call this a coupe, because, I mean, maybe it looks like one, but I feel like I have the space of a full-size SUV, and I kind of like that. Look, it's got the all-wheel drive. You're going to have trouble getting yourself stuck. It's extremely heavy, right? You're going to push yourself in. I think, you know, almost all winter tires would be good enough for this thing. It's got such a good system. Sport Plus mode, different terrain modes, you name it, this car pretty much has it. And look, it's just a joy to spend a week with. It's been easy, it's been luxurious. I've loved it, my wife's loved it, the family's loved it. And that's really what's important. And when I want to, and when my family's not in the car, I can still have some fun. It can still put a smile on my face. And I think that's important with a vehicle that wants to be an SUV, but also wants to be sporty. I think they've done a good job. So as usual, let me know what you think. Are you in the market for one of these? Would you take the coupe, or are you gonna go the full-size 3-row, the Prestige GV80? Which one do you like more? How do you feel about the new tech redesign? Do you like this, like, I think it's like a 27-inch screen, something crazy like that. What do you feel about the new stuff? You like it, or are you going with the old ones? Or if you own one, let me know how it was to actually own, because I cannot tell you that. I only get them for a week, and they're always perfect for me, these vehicles, for a week. It has not failed on me. So long-term owners, let me know your thoughts. And with that being said, I will see you in the next week. See you in the next car. Take care.